Are we running?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're good.
Hi, everybody. I'm sitting here with Abe. You can't see him, but he's helping me read everything on the screen. And it's great that you're with us today. I'm here in California, and I'm getting ready to go to Comic-Con, having never been before. I really don't know what to expect. So if anybody has any helpful hints, that would be great. Let's see some of the questions. So somebody asked me about why a comic book. My friend Rance, I've known him for, I don't know, since over 20 years now. And he got me into comic books. He was crashing at my place while I was writing Little Earthquakes. And he came to me about 1.5 years ago with this idea. Maybe not even that long ago. Maybe it was only a year, because it was after last year's Comic-Con. And he said, why don't we do a comic book of your songs? And so we talked about it, and we got together and thought about a concept. And I knew that if that was going to be any good, that there had to be a sense that the artists weren't going to edit themselves so much. Rance had told me that a lot of writers and artists were afraid to be really creative because some of the companies that they work for don't want them to upset their demographic. And all of you know how I feel about demographics. Okay, next question. Oh yeah, of course, all my songs are the ones that the stories are about, and the artists were the ones that picked which ones they wanted to do. Okay, next question. Let's see. Why did I stop writing the Dolls blogs? I'm writing a lot of other things right now. Some exciting things, I hope. And the idea is that this project I'm working on right now will be out sometime in, I'd hope the first part of next year, but we'll see how quickly I progress. I'm also writing a musical. I turned Act 1 in to the British National Theatre, so we're still waiting to hear what they think about that one. It was a very different kind of process, working with more of a committee of people, but I love the story. It's called The Light Princess, and so I have to write Act 2 before I get the green light, so to be continued. Abe, questions?
Yeah.
Any plan of working with a live orchestra? Well, I think with a musical, if that gets the green light, then of course there will be an orchestra there. As far as me taking an orchestra with me or picking up players as I go, I haven't made that commitment yet for myself. But I'm excited about the prospect of having my work played by an orchestra every night. And I think The Light Princess lends itself. I'm writing it for a full orchestra. So that's, again, in the works. Everything with me is in the works, huh? Let's see. How did I come up with the idea of heavy breathing and precious things? Sometimes when we're recording, whoever's in the studio, it's strange how ideas just hit you. Sometimes I might see or hear somebody do something, and then the light bulb goes on, and I think this would be great in the percussion part. When you're composing, you're in one headspace, and you're dealing with basic structure. And then when you're making records, you need to step out of that and put your arranger thinking cap on. And that's when you can really start to experiment. I think it depends sometimes the mood that you're in, but I try all kinds of things when I'm in the mix room, and sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. So a lot of that is just improvisation. So much of the arrangements. We try things you don't hear, and a lot of that just gets maybe shelved, and we bring that idea later on, maybe for a different project. So you collect these ideas as you go along. That's what I think. Anytime you're a creator, you never throw an idea away. You just might have to apply it to something different. Okay. Any plan of releasing the comic book as a film? That's a really good idea, isn't it? I haven't ruled that out. I think that people have been talking with me about that, especially if it were done right. Or a TV serial. But again, you have to collaborate with producers that wouldn't want to make it so commercial that you miss what the comic book is. We were able to do this the way that we've done it is because no one was stopping the process. I made sure I had Rance's back. And so I put all my muscle behind it, which meant that Image wasn't going to step in and say, well, you all need to think about this story or that story. This way the artist had a lot of freedom. And sometimes, as some of you know, if you take something to Hollywood or you take it to a network, then they might bring 6 writers on a project, and they're trying to please the advertisers and all kinds of people. That doesn't mean that it can't be done, but you have to make sure that you're pairing with the right people. So I'm taking that one slowly. Okay. Did you get? Where am I? Will you be at Comic-Con? Yes, I'm going. I'm on one of the panels on Saturday. And no, I thought it was, will I be singing? I'll be signing. I need glasses. I will be signing, yes. We have books there so that we will be signing. How often do I see the family in North Carolina? When we tour, when we go through there, when we're touring, we see everybody. They all come to see us. Somebody's just read Piece by Piece, and the marriage between Mary and the Magdalene, how to unite the two symbols of woman. That's been really tricky over the years to find that balance. Maybe I'm not suggesting that anybody becomes a parent to find that, but when I became pregnant and I carried my daughter, I started to have a whole different view of a woman's body. And somehow, some way, all these kinds of taboos and feelings of shame that maybe I'd taken on board as a minister's daughter and through the Christian philosophy, it just fell away. It didn't fall away in a day, but as I got bigger and bigger and became as big as a beached whale, I felt, I don't know, more at peace with my physicality and the spirituality. So, being a mom made me realize that you can be sexy, you can feel that way. Only you can feel that for yourself. Somebody else can see you as that, but if you don't feel that about yourself, then that to me is key. That's the only way that you can carry both. And the question, of course, I hear some of you saying, well, how do you feel that way about yourself? And I think I had to get rid of those old programs. People can be so vicious, and I don't know if they think they're being cool by being vicious, but it's so easy to be vicious, isn't it? It's the easiest thing in the world. So